Hello again, YouTube. Jake here again with more reading too much into things. Today's Jyuohger's episode, again, feel a lot like a filler. Mostly because this time, it is. So let's dive right in with episode 26. Taisetsu na hi no mamoritai. I want to protect an important day and see exactly where we need to go from there. Yamato bumps into an old college buddy of his, who has been trying to message him for a while, but I guess his new cube phone doesn't do text messages that well, due to him getting married soon. Bangray, meanwhile, still on Earth looking for something or someone, gets an idea from this, because him re-killing Yamato's mother isn't bad enough. Now he wants to ruin the marriage ceremony of Yamato's human friend. And by ruin, I mean kill the couple to try and break Yamato's spirit. Because Bangray remains the absolute worst. And so, on the absolutely flawless logic of if Yamato isn't there to cheer for his friend, who will? The rest of the guy's friends and family, maybe? The church isn't exactly empty. On the day of the marriage, the team decides to face Bangray by themselves without Yamato. But Yamato knows this anyway, so the point is moot. So, he shows up, and this episode does establish one thing, that Bangray, along with being the absolute worst, is smarter than a lot of villains are given credit for. His goal is to break Yamato's spirit and destroy his belief in connections, and he knows well enough that just beating up Yamato won't get him that, hence why he's aiming for his friend's wedding. And thankfully, since this is a kids show, despite being delayed with a repeat player, Yamato does arrive in time to stop his friend and his new bride from being murdered horribly. And sadly, Bangray didn't account for just how hard someone as pissed off as Yamato gets over this can hit. And so, as a quick escape, he again steals the memories of a giant player and escapes back to space. Our episode ends with the friend saying in all but words that he knows Yamato was the red guy that saved their lives, and a scene of the Birdman finding another hidden animal cube, and being found himself by Larry the gorilla. And we finally get a name for the Birdman. Bado. Get it? It sounds like how a Japanese person would pronounce bird. Well, nothing much happened in that. I think we can squeeze in another episode. So let's jump in to episode 27. Honomono wa dochi da? Which one is real? As you might expect from both the title as well as Bangray's motif so far, this episode involves Bangray making a Sayla and Tusk clone from their memories. Specifically, he made clones of them and placed delicate time bombs on both sets. The only way to disarm them is to find out who the fake pair is and kill them. If not, all of them explode and, very likely, die. And well, I would say the team approached this very logically, working through who can transform into what, or testing if they know this, that, or the other thing, but by approaching it that way, they are forgetting that they aren't an enemy that has taken their looks, they're copies from the two's memories, just like Yamato's mom was. They are as much the real thing as Yamato's mom was, so of course they would have all the memories and be able to do what each other does. If this was well written, I'd expect it to be revealed that Bangray made them either based on their own memories only, or even on each other's memories, i.e. a Sayla copy made from Tusk's memory, leading to the reveal being the way to tell them apart is to judge them by, oh, Tusk is perfect housewife material, or Sayla's more ultra-masculine. Instead, they simply go with a clip show quiz episode to prove who's real. Yeah, this is a clip show episode. However, I do give them points here that the team realizes the fakes are far too detailed in memories, remembering even the tiniest things to a fault. However, when it comes time to kill the imposters, all a part of Bang Ray's emotional warfare against Yamato, they reveal that the clip show was to buy time to think of a way to save even the imposters. However, as the bombs start their final countdown, they haven't come up with anything. So even the real Sayla and Tusk enter into the group think, moving the imposters to tears. And so the copies do something that destroys themselves. I don't know, maybe the memories can will themselves into non-existence or out of existence. Also, what happened to all those other memory copies of loved ones from the Yamato's mom episode? Did Bang Ray go around and kill them as well? Man, he is the tops of the worst. Well, credit where credit is due, they don't do what too often happens with copy/clone stories, and the team do think of these copies as real people who had feelings and wants of their own. The episode just sort of ends with Tusk and Sayla wanting to beat Bang Ray as well. While I like some aspects of the writing of these episodes, they were really lacking overall. Seriously felt just like some space filler. But let us move on to Kamen Rider. First up, episode 45, Senritsu Keiyuku Sekai, Shudder, A Disappearing World. Picking up right from when Two Feathers became a server. As he becomes the base for all those connected by Demia's souls are pulled. And he says he'll be the whole world as we get clips of all over Japan. I bring this up because they couldn't even fake shots of outside of Japan, despite this claiming that 90% of the whole world are using the Demiya icon. The eye contacts, rather. Or maybe in this saying, all the world is Japan, but then where does Bills come from? So anyway, Takaru and Two Feathers clash together so hard that they share memories. Takaru seeing Two Feathers with his mother, and Two Feathers seeing that memory of Takaru with his dad and friends making hand rolls. Then it's revealed that both of their moms shared the same name, so they stopped fighting. Got that joke out of the way. So yeah, Two Feathers leaves. Does that mean he's still acting as the server for all the Demiya souls? Takaru passes out, and two mysterious white-clad women who showed up out of nowhere at the end of last episode are still standing there being mysterious. But yeah, stuff's bad. Two Feathers is freaking out and just wants Takaru dead. Arya thinks the Gone Misers are bad news. And wait a hot minute. Two Feathers is freaking out over connecting with Takaru's mind and feelings. That connecting is disgusting, but isn't connecting to people by becoming the world and all the people pulling into him exactly that. Exactly. Just, I mean, it's through mind control, but it is still connecting the whole world together into one force, and it's really unclear, but I think Akari is trying to open a portal to the Gamma world to try and let Spectre's deep icon take control of the Gammizers. Onari and his students and Alan are off to depossess Bills to make him admit Demiya is evil. Kanon is going to do what she can do, whatever that is. And Takaru tries to connect to Demiya to reach Two Feathers because he thinks that'll help. And Edith heads off to do what he needs to do, whatever that is. So, Spectre's off in the woods because that makes a really good fight backdrop, and finds himself fighting the Master Spectre clone, now given a deep Spectre icon that's just created out of nowhere by the Gammizers. Meanwhile, Takaru gets knocked out of the Animatrix opening by the Gammizers, and Deep Connect is full of Gruntmas. But then the clone and the Gammizers just leave before the fight really happens. And Alan does what Takaru should have done just as a safety measure, like I want to say 30 episodes ago, and does the symbol that depossesses Bills of the Gamma icon in him. Oh, and Igor shows up to try and glow, but as he does, his face shifts to that of Two Feathers, which is freaking Igor out. Oh, and Jiro is still around, but he does nothing whatsoever. Especially not anything of importance. While on a break, Takaru wonders what having a mom is like. I want to take a moment here and point out that just a few scenes before, we had Arya saying to Two Feathers that he is not, quote, different, quote, from other people, for he was also born from a mother. I am starting to wonder if Takaru was as well, or if he just sprang from the earth. We get another motivation retcon. See, now, Two Feathers didn't overthrow his father and invade the human world because of his mind being polluted by his father's ideals about a perfect world that he came to after suffering loss. No. Now it's just he wanted his daddy's love. And when his dad was obsessed with his perfect world, he felt rejected and hated him. I need a bucket to be sick in. Anywho, Takaru gets attacked by Gammizers, and we see what Kanon can do by herself, is go out and get more takoyaki, while being stalked and almost choked by a clone of her brother while she tries to tie her shoe. But the Spectre clone can't do it and disappears off. Anywho, Spectre and Alan show up to help Takaru explode the Gammizers that are attacking him, and Igor continues to freak out over his face changing / him losing himself to the Demiya project thing, to which I have to ask, since you, Igor, set up the Demiya project and what it does, what do you think would happen? And then Takaru turns invisible to everyone. Again. So yeah, that's episode 45. And since we went through 2 episodes of Jyuohger's, let's now chat about episode 46. Ketto Kengo Kara no Kotoba. Duel. The words of swordsman. After which, at some point, a day has passed, since... Not after which. After episode 45, apparently a day has passed because we've gone from 4 days left to 3 days left. Without a 2-night or 2-day transition. They really suck at establishing when a day changes between these episodes when it's a tied story. Also, the Ganmizers fix themselves and go back to the Gamma world. They then send out the Spectre clone, now disguised in Spectre's coat. Because sending her around in Gamma World outfit kinda was a dead giveaway. While Takaru tries to figure out why he's invisible to even Yurusen. Speaking of unexplained, the twins show up again, fuse into one person, and says, "Yo, world's in real danger, and still to come, dog. Peace out," and disappear. Supposedly, they're connected to the Great Eye as well, according to Two Feathers. Suddenly, Takaru starts appearing around actors they could pay to come back. I mean, people who had a real emotional impact on Takaru since he's been a ghost. Namely, scientist, the guy possessed by Roma, and the girl possessed by Houdini. Back at the temple, the Spectre clone shows up being really creepy. And for once I have to praise the writing. Thank you. Canon and Alan, the people who would most know Spectre, pick up on him not being Spectre. Well, I'm sure the whole point is connection, and that's why they can tell, but Onari can't. Power of friends, shut up! So, before they can really press the matter of him not being Spectre and clearly being an imposter, and they should do something about him, he senses that the real Spectre is coming, and the clone leaves. And the real Spectre shows up. And they confirm that the last guy who showed up was the clone. And Spectre goes off to fight alone. Also, the Ganmizers are heartless now, I guess, as they show up. I don't know, they show up in the body of the 3 actors that that Takaru saw before, talking about having taken their hearts to try and analyze it so they can evolve the same way Takaru does. They tried to force Takaru to join with them, but is stopped by Spectre, who sensed him through his deep icon. And then the Ganmizers are forcefully dragged back to the Gamma world this time, to be questioned by Two Feathers, who just wants Takaru dead because he thinks connecting to him is creepy, icky, ewy, goo. Also, instead of actually trying to do anything about his invisibility or the fact that he could just teleport to see people, Takaru just sits around thinking about what everyone else is doing and gets visions of it. And then, when hit with another I can't do anything moment of overload with voices, he's been hearing everyone's connected thoughts since he turned invisible again. He gets dragged into the Musashi icon and finds himself fighting against Musashi, played, I'm sure, by the person who played him in the Ghost movie, where they all gave the icons actual actors as opposed to the black outlines wearing the ghost form coats. And when trying to warn people about the Mia project, Adele tries to copy a better show by turning everyone watching into him. Worst of all, he's not even having fun like the Master did with this way he pulled it off. Or, since I mentioned Animatrix already, could be trying to copy Agent Smith. Still better than this garbage, and yes, I am including the sequels in this. But yeah, Two Feathers just takes over everybody's body, and what does he do? He just stands there! Everyone with his face is just standing there! Also, Jyuohger is still around, apparently, as our QB in the good Beethoven Ganma. I don't get, was this Beethoven Ganma the same as the Beethoven Ganma Takaru fought that made everything? No, it was a Mozart. It was a Mozart Ganma, not a Beethoven Ganma, but you get what I mean. This is really unclear. Anywho, Two Feathers sends the Ganmizers to attack Spectre, Alan, and Takaru basically loses the duel with Musashi so he can learn to use his heart to listen to the voices inside his head to pinpoint people, which this far in he should have shouldn't have to be told to do this, because he has shown an aptitude for figuring out moving on. Whatever. Episode's almost over. Takaru runs in to save Spectre and Alan from the Ganmizers. They blow up like the only 5 that have an actual form as opposed to a weapon form or big blank hole. But then the Ganmizers, all of them, not just the ones they blew up, appear again and blow them up. And the episode ends with Two Feathers showing up. What was the point of the form with the closed flower, since he's only appeared with the open flower form ever since? To blow them up and finish them off for good. And that's episode 46. Really, at this point, it's just waiting for the end. Just waiting for those last few drops to circle down the drain. I'm waiting for it to end so I can be, instead of disappointed in each individual episode, I can be actively disappointed at the whole thing, better organize my thoughts, and express in the final video I'll have about this what I feel the show was trying to say with its cast and with its storylines, and what I got out of it saying. And I know it's a kid's show, but that's why that's important. And I realize that doing this is reading far too into things, but that's kind of the channel name. Anywho, thank you again for watching more Reading Too Much Into Things. And I'm Jake, hoping that with next week's Jyuohger's episode, at least, since it's Super Sentai's 1999th episode, we get something a bit more flashy. And as always, stay safe.